of us are too thrilled whenever it comes to Monday. I mean, it's the end of the weekend. You either got to worry about going back to work, school, a combination of both, or just have to assume the responsibilities that you didn't have to worry about during the weekend. But what happens when someone despises Mondays so much that they decide to take the lives of individuals simply because they didn't like Mondays? This is the story of Brenda Spencer. What's up, y'all? Welcome back. Tales from the Crib. It's your boy, Dr. Savage. I want to say welcome back, Savage Pat. When you like good things, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe. Well, we unpack some things, baby. You're going to love it here. Trust me, you're going to love it here. Is everybody all right? Is everybody okay? All right, so without further delay, let's go ahead and press play. So, boom. Spencer was born to Dot and Wallace Spencer. Her birthday is April 3rd, 1962. Yeah, I know, y'all. I know. And unfortunately, my fellow Aries, she one of our people. Yeah. Can't have them all. Anyway, in a humble family with, the typical American story to where everything was good until it wasn't. And eventually, Brenda's parents divorced.
Was fooling around with other women, and he come home one night, asked me if he could leave for a year if I'd let him come back, and he'd already rented an apartment somewhere, and I just laughed. And a few days later I filed for divorce.
So why do you think he got custody of the children?
It was in the time when the court system was swaying back and forth, and he got the two older ones to say that they wanted to stay with him, and then so they didn't want to split up the three, so he naturally got Brenda.
All three went with Brenda's father, Wallace Spencer. And this would even be despite the fact that he had problems with alcohol. Lead to Brenda's antisocial and other insecurities that plagued her, dealing with her parents' divorce, as well as her father's alcoholism and her estranged relationship with her mother. It stated that Brenda hated her physique. She hated her pale skin, her freckles, and her red hair. She was teased a lot from a lot of people in the school. So much so, one of the classmates referred to her as pretty crummy looking. And she wore thick, Coke bottle looking glasses. Or the large glasses due to her myopia. I think I'm saying it right. Myopia. Listen, she had vision problems, and that's why she wore glasses, alright? Which, you know how our kids can be. They weren't the nicest to Brenda, and I'm sure that didn't help anything she was experiencing at home. Yup, kids. Now keep in mind, this is back in 1979, who are now many of our parents. Interesting. And this is later also said to contribute to the fact that while she broke the rules often in school, really wasn't really interested in school. Now, she excelled at certain things, at photography and things of that nature, but as far as socializing with the kids, it really wasn't her thing. The teachers would say Brenda was an interesting child and introverted. She was an introverted girl with a lot of difficulties, as well as some would say learning disabilities. All that were possibly contributed by an accident she had on her bike. Brenda had an accident on her bike, and she hit her head. That led to a serious head injury. Now, even though they saw her as a harmless girl back then, they would say Brenda would make numerous threats amongst her families and friends that no one took seriously. At that time, they just thought, hey, she's just going through a stage. She's a little tomboy. She's a little weird. She'll grow out of it. Well, the plot thickens. It said that even at an early age, Brenda told one of her friends that she dreamed about harming policemen, called them pigs, and she had thoughts of being a sniper. She even stated that she wanted to assassinate someone. Now, added to all this, she had a streak of petty theft and substance abuse. Now, we all know, and we've heard the story before, all of this is the perfect concoction that manifests to a person who is not a productive citizen in our society, right? And this just led to the rejection of more authority. In fact, in 1978, Brenda got arrested for shooting out the windows of an elementary school across the street from her home. That was the first time and first clue someone should have said something, like her parents. And it was at the Clover Elementary School across the street from her home, and she shot the windows with the BB gun that her father had gave her. And with that BB gun, she did exactly what she aspired to do and what she told me that she wanted to do. So there started the behavior of her being a sniper in training. Now, as her behavior and everything increased, her aggressiveness increased, the school and neighbors took notice, and so much so that they recommend that Brenda's father send her to an institute for school of troubled youth. Did he listen? Hell no. He felt as though wasn't nothing wrong with his baby girl, and y'all need to stay out of his business. Sound familiar? She did go hunting with her father, and it was said that she was a good marksmith. She was pretty good at hunting. So for Christmas, he got her a gun, a .22 rifle. So now, a troubled teen already has the how. Guess what? All she needs is the win. So, on January 29th, 1978, definitely became that time. Brenda Spencer woke up in that mattress that she shared with her father and decided that she did not want to go to school. She hated Mondays. She didn't like them. So, she decided to liven things up a bit. Her words. While she got up and she was wandering around because she didn't want to go to school, she began wandering around her living room. And then she looked outside her window and she noticed the kids were waiting in the courtyard for the principal to come unlock the gate. She got a semi-automatic and pointed it outside that window. Hesitation, mama started to let fire. Principal of the school was coming to let the kids in. They were all waiting outside, and I guess in the 70s that was the norm to have the gate locked. The principal would come unlock it, and then the kids would be able to enter the school. Well, Brenda saw time and opportunity to do what she always wanted to do. At first, when they heard the noises, they thought it was a prank. Somebody had firecrackers and things of that nature. They didn't realize how serious it was until certain students began to drop and fall. The principal immediately went to go protect the kids, and while he was doing it, one of the projectiles unfortunately struck him, ending his life. Now, all those hours that she spent shooting those BB guns and playing duck hunt and shooting the birds in the neighborhood paid off. Unfortunately, the principal met his demise trying to protect one of the students. The custodian also stepped in trying to help the principal. Unfortunately, fell victim to the heinous acts by Brenda Spencer. The kids running to the classroom trying to run to safety. It is said that Brenda was finding enjoyment out of this, and she was laughing as she was trying to target each of the kids as they were scrambling. It was a game to her. For whatever reason, this girl got enjoyment of taking innocent lives, all because she was bored. Now, as one of the policemen arrived, he blocked the entrance with quick thinking with the garbage truck, which stopped Brenda from being able to shoot anything at the school hitting the children, which was a really, really smart move. Unfortunately, the smart thinking was a little too late. She had already shot 36 projectiles towards the school and caused 2 fatalities. Little by little, the agents came to the house. They were trying to persuade Brenda to drop her weapon. And this went on for almost 6 hours. Now, they end up doing this after they succeeded after offering Brenda her favorite food, Burger King. They used the Whopper as a decoy to get close enough for them to storm the house. Once they stormed the house, they found a famished Brenda with ammunition everywhere. They said the house was nasty. It was empty alcohol bottles everywhere, trash everywhere. Her daddy didn't keep a nice house and they were all nasty, which, is anybody surprised? I'm not. Now, after the authorities got Brenda, she was arrested, taken out the house, the reporters and everybody there. And they were asking her, you know how they were. Hey, why'd you do it? Why'd you do it? Mama said, Yes, this girl basically caused all this turmoil, chaos, and havoc because she did not like Mondays. And she said, I don't have any other reasons. It was just for fun. Remember this. She also said she liked the red and the blue of the students' jackets, and she saw them basically as ducks, and she wanted to hunt them.
Did it make it harder to deal with that he was killed by a
16
16-year-old
yeah.
girl?
Yes, it did. Went to collect my dad's things a couple days afterwards, and there was still blood on the sidewalk where he died. They hadn't scrubbed.
America led
to digital penetration
Yes.
and later into intercourse.
Yes.
So are you now indicating that there was actual intercourse involved?
It was, I guess you'd call it sodomy.
and Brenda's mother said to us that you and Brenda, after the divorce, shared a bed together.
We shared the bedroom. She had her bed, I had my bed.
Have you ever discussed this with your father?
I've tried to.
All right. And
I don't
when
get anywhere.
Well, did you ever confront him?
I confronted him.
What did he say?
He just doesn't want to talk about it.
So Wallace, how did you come to marry one of Brenda's former cellmates? What happened there?
I don't think I want to answer that question.
And are you still with her?
No.
No. Okay. But your daughter lives here.
Yes.
Oh.
She did not want her daughter. Okay? And that's the only statement I will make.
Once these the allegations of abuse came to light, did you ever want any action taken against Wallace? Did you want the police involved?
I would have liked to have them, yes. But there wasn't enough evidence to do anything. But I would have been very happy if they had done something.
Let out of prison.
Basically, for a second chance, everyone changes. Everyone changes, and I feel that everyone deserves a second chance. You know, I blew it the first time, you know. I wasn't going where I needed to go and getting the help I needed to get. And I would like a chance out there to lead a normal life.
His widow, Kathy.
And as far as I'm concerned, she should never be let out.
Do you think you're going to have trouble finding employment when you leave?
No, I don't.
Why not?
Because I have marketable skills.
What kind of skills do you have? What would you like to do upon release?
I'd like to drive the forklift.
You'd like to drive a forklift, what you're doing right now?
Yes.
Maybe she goes to the bathroom on time, washes her hair when she's supposed to, and walks down the hallway without harassing somebody. Fine. A model prisoner does not a citizen make.
Remember the shooting itself?
I don't remember the shooting itself.
You don't?
No.
Brenda Spencer suddenly and unexpectedly revealed that she had been sexually abused by her father. The claims were treated with skepticism. Why was she only talking about this now, over 20 years after the event? Neither of Brenda's parents have ever spoken about these abuse allegations. We now had a chance to ask her mother.
You and Brenda's father, Wallace, got divorced.
Yes,
Is that correct?
yes, in 1972. He was fooling around with other women. And he come home one night, asked me if he could leave for a year if I'd let him come back. And he'd already rented an apartment somewhere, and I just laughed. And a few days later, I filed for divorce.
So why do you think he got custody of the children?
It was in a time when the court system was swaying back and forth, and he got the two older ones to say that they wanted to stay with him. And then so they didn't want to split up the three, so he naturally got Brenda.
Within a year of Brenda being jailed, her father remarried. Wallace Spencer's new wife, who quickly moved in with him, looked so like his daughter that some people thought Brenda Spencer had actually been released from prison.
I can recall about a year after Brenda was committed, getting a call from one of the detectives wondering what Brenda was doing out. This girl looked very similar to, very much alike like Brenda.
Sheila was her cellmate up at juvenile hall, and she was released to go to a halfway house, and she went to it, but she ran away from it and went.
Mama testimony, she said that she had taken substances and she was under the influence of alcohol, and that's the reason why that she decided to do what she did. However, when they ran the toxicology report, they found no substances, no illegal substances in Brenda's body. She would later say prosecutors falsified documents to incriminate her more to give her a harsher sentence. Yeah, they had to do that after you had already, girl. Anyway, the accident that I mentioned earlier, it will come later to find out that it was a lesion on her temporal lobe in the head from the bicycle incident. And psychiatrists will also diagnose Brenda as being epileptic as well as clinically depressed. And it was also said that it was the source of aggressive behavior. And she was given the proper corresponding medication to assist her with her diagnosis. Trial, there were testimonies from former friends, classmates, and victims. Some of Brenda's friends said that she always wanted to do something big to make it on television. Well, I guess this was Mama's 15 minutes of fame. Was it worth it? Was it worth it? She was sentenced to 25 years to life. Brenda was then sent to Corona, California, which Brenda would eventually go to plead guilty on the charges. In 1980, on April 4th, the day after her birthday, which is April 3rd, and April 3rd is the day after my birthday, April 2nd. Yep, again, Mama is unfortunately in Aries. Anyway, this day, every time she's went up for parole, she's been denied. Y'all just stay with me. Later say in 2001, I believe, that even though it was never documented, she never made mention of it before, that she was...
You sexually abused her.
She what?
She said in her parole hearing that you sexually abused her, that you sodomized her.
Brenda said that? In her hearing on Tuesday?
Now indicating that there was actual intercourse involved?
It was, I guess you'd call it sodomy.
Did you ever discuss this with your father?
I've tried to.
All right. And
I don't
when
get anywhere.
Well, did you ever confront him?
I confronted him.
What did he say?
He just doesn't want to talk about it.
Fortunately, even with those words, the judge felt it lacked sincerity and truthfulness and just feels as though I'm just putting on the show so she can get released. It would later be stated that she had never made mention to that years before. Keep in mind, this girl been in jail since 1979, but she never brought it up. Her father would go visit her every Saturday, and it was news to him. Shortly after this horrible incident, the Boomtown Rats would record a song based off this incident called I Do Not Like Mondays, which would eventually become a big hit. The writer would say that Brenda's action was really a nonsense act, and I wrote the song basically to say just that. Because in San Diego, they weren't hearing it. They weren't playing. Literally, they weren't trying to hear it. They didn't have it. They weren't having it. They did not want to play the radio. They didn't want to glorify this incident. And it seemed a bit insensitive. Like, I don't even understand in the right mind. I know years later, if you guys are even familiar with the song, you probably didn't even know that it was correlated with this. But dude, let's say for instance, if it was a song dealing with Columbine and someone wrote a song and they wanted to play it. I mean, come on now. I know common sense ain't coming to everybody though, right?
The year of Brenda being jailed, her father remarried. Wallace Spencer's new wife, who quickly moved in with him, looked so like his daughter that some people thought Brenda Spencer had actually been released from prison.
I can recall about a year after Brenda was committed, getting a call from one of the detectives, wondering what Brenda was doing out. This girl looked very similar to, very much alike like Brenda.
Wait a prepaid minute. Hold on.
Wallace, how did you come to marry one of Brenda's former cellmates? What happened there?
I don't think I want to answer that question.
And are you still with her?
No.
No. Okay. But your daughter lives here?
Yes.
Oh.
She did not want her daughter. Okay? And that's the only statement I will make.
Even to this day, Mama is still in jail waiting to be released. Hopefully, we'll see what that leads. And they said that Mama has never shown any remorse in any of these hearings. She's known to be the grandmother of school assaults. And she said every time she hears anything about a school assault that she feels partly responsible. What do y'all feel? Do y'all think that's true? Do y'all think that regardless of whatever Brenda Spencer did, that it still would have happened? What are y'all thoughts? Put them in the comments. Let me know.
That everyone deserves a second chance. You know, I blew it the first time, you know. I wasn't going where I needed to go and getting the help I needed to get. And I would like a chance out there to lead a normal life.
His widow, Kathy.
And as far as I'm concerned, she should never be let out.
Do y'all think that she should be paroled? Do y'all think that she has been reformed? Y'all tell me. Get it all out in the comments. Let me know what you think should happen to Brenda Ann Spencer. Do y'all think that she is remorseful? Do y'all think that she should be reformed? And how would you have handled that? Regardless of how much you dislike Mondays, please do not take it out on anybody, alright?
Maybe she goes to the bathroom on time, washes her hair when she's supposed to, and walks down the hallway without harassing somebody. Fine. A model prisoner does not a citizen make.
Oh, that was our story for today. It was real quick to the point. Y'all let me know. I'm glad to be back. Y'all excuse my facial hair. It's no shave November. You know, your boy up there trying to bring awareness out there. Ready? So you ain't got to get ready, baby. Uno out.